Reichenau Island is an island in Lake Constance in southern Germany, at approximately 47.700 degrees north, 9.067 degrees east, 47.700 9.067. It lies between Gnadensee and Untersee, two parts of Lake Constance, almost due west of the city of Konstanz. The island is connected to the mainland by a causeway that was completed in 1838. The causeway is intersected between the site of the former castle, Schopflen, and the eastern end of Reichenau Island by the 10-meter-wide Bruckgraben, a waterway which is spanned by a low road bridge that allows passage of ordinary boats but not of sailboats through its 95-meter course. Its total area is less than 7 square kilometers. The highest elevation on the island, the Hochwart, reaches 438.7 meters, or 43 meters above the lake surface. It was declared a World Heritage Site in 2000 because of its monastery, the Abbey of Reichenau. The abbey's Munster is dedicated to the Virgin and St. Mark. Two further churches were built on the island consecrated to St. Georg, and two Sts Peter and Paul. The famous artworks of Reichenau include the Ottonian murals of Miracles of Christ in St. Georg, unique survivals from the 10th century. The abbey's bailiff was housed in a two-story stone building that was raised by two more stories of timber framing in the 14th century. One of the oldest timber frame buildings in South Germany. Among the abbey's far-flung land holdings was Reichenau, a village on the Upper Rhine in the municipality of Taumens in the canton of Graubünden, Switzerland, named for the abbey. Today the island is also famous for its vegetable farms. The Walmattinger Reed next to the island is a big nature preserve, a wetland area of reeds which is used by many birds for the stopover during their annual migration. History. The Alemannic name of the island was Sintlios Sauet, but it was also simply known as Ahoerstemeier Island. The Benedictine Abbey of Reichenau was founded in 724 by the itinerant St. Pirmin, who is said to have fled Spain ahead of the Moorish invaders, with patronage that included Charles Martel, and, more locally, Count Berthold of the Avalolfinger and the Alemannian Duke Sandfried. Pirmin's conflict with Sandfried resulted in his leaving Reichenau in 727. Under his successor Heito, the monastery began to flourish. It gained influence in the Carolingian dynasty under Abbot Waldo of Reichenau by educating the clerks who staffed imperial and ducal chancelleries. Abbot Reginbert of Reichenau built up the important book collection. Abbot Wilfrid Strabo, who was educated at Reichenau, was renowned as a poet and Latin scholar. The abbey stood along a main north-south highway between Germany and Italy, where the lake passages the arduous route. The Abbey of Reichenau housed a school and a scriptorium, an artist's workshop, that has a claim to having been the largest and artistically most influential center for producing lavishly illuminated manuscripts in Europe. During the late 10th and early 11th centuries, often known as the Reichenau School. An example of the scriptorium's production is the Pericopes of Henry II, made for the emperor, now in Munich. Reichenau has preserved its precious relics, which include the picture from the wedding at Cana. The abbey reached its apex under Abbot Bernau of Reichenau. During his time, important scholars, such as Hermanus Contractus, lived and worked in Reichenau. In the second half of the 11th century, the cultural importance of the abbey started to wane owing to the restrictive reforms of Pope Gregory VII, and also to rivalry rivalry with the nearby street, Gaul. In 1540, the Bishop of Konstanz, and old rival of the Reichenau abbots, became Lord of Reichenau and, under the control of the succeeding bishops, the abbey's significance dwindled. When the abbey lands were secularized and the monks disbanded under Napoleon, part of Reichenau's famed library was preserved in the State Library at Karlsruhe. The Geographus Bavaris and several other important documents may be found in the Bavarian State Library in Munich. Since 2001, a small community of Benedictines has been re-established at Niedersal. Burchard III, Duke of Swabia, and Hermann Hunt, Duke of Swabia, were buried here, as was Gerald of Winsgau. Burials at the Abbey. Charles the Fat. Gallery.